France, officially the French Republic, is a country primarily located in Western Europe. It also includes overseas regions and territories in the Americas and the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, giving it one of the largest discontiguous exclusive economic zones in the world. Its metropolitan area extends from the Rhine to the Atlantic Ocean and from the Mediterranean Sea to the English Channel and the North Sea. Overseas territories include French Guiana in South America, St. Pierre and Miquelon in the North Atlantic, the French West Indies, and many islands in Oceania and the Indian Ocean. Its 18 integral regions, 5 of which are overseas, span a combined area of 643,801 square kilometers, 248,573 square miles, and contain 68 million people. As of January 2023, France retains its centuries-long status as a global center of art, science and philosophy. It hosts the 5th largest number of UNESCO World Heritage Sites and is the world's leading tourist destination, receiving over 89 million foreign visitors in 2018. France is a developed country ranked 28th in the Human Development Index, with the world's 7th largest economy by nominal GDP and 10th largest by PPP. In terms of aggregate household wealth, it ranks 4th in the world. France has a developed, high-income mixed economy, characterized by sizable government involvement, economic diversity, a skilled labor force, and high innovation. It is currently the world's 9th largest by purchasing power parity, the 7th largest by nominal GDP, and the 2nd largest in the European Union by both metrics. France is considered an economic power, with membership in the group of 7 leading industrialized countries, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, and the group of 20 largest economies. France has historically been one of the world's major agricultural centers and remains a global agricultural powerhouse and quad. Nicknamed the granary of the old continent, over half its total land area is farmland, of which 45% is devoted to permanent field crops such as cereals. The country's diverse climate, extensive arable land, modern farming technology, and EU subsidies have made it Europe's leading agricultural producer and exporter. It accounts for 1/5 of the EU's agricultural production, including over 1/3 of its oilseeds, cereals, and wine. As of 2017, France ranked 1st in Europe in beef and cereals, 2nd in dairy and aquaculture, and 3rd in poultry, fruits, vegetables, and manufactured chocolate products. France has the EU's largest cattle herd, at 18 to 19 million. The capital and by far the most important city of France is Paris, one of the world's preeminent cultural and commercial centers. A majestic city known as the Ville Lumière, or City of Light, Paris has often been remade, most famously in the mid-19th century under the command of Georges Eugene, Baron Haussmann, who was committed to Napoleon III's vision of a modern city free of the choleric swamps and congested alleys of old, with broad avenues and a regular plan. Paris is now a sprawling metropolis, one of Europe's largest conurbations, but its historic heart can still be traversed in an evening's walk. Confident that their city stood at the very center of the world, Parisians were once given to referring to their country as having 2 parts, Paris and the desert, the wasteland beyond it. Metropolitan Paris has now extended far beyond its ancient suburbs into the countryside, however, and nearly every French town and village now numbers a retiree or 2 driven from the city by the high cost of living, so that, in a sense, Paris has come to embrace the desert and the desert Paris. Among France's other major cities are Lyon, located along an ancient Rhone Valley trade route linking the North Sea and the Mediterranean; Marseille, a multi-ethnic port on the Mediterranean founded as an entrepot for Greek and Carthaginian traders in the 6th century BCE; Nantes, an industrial center and deepwater harbor along the Atlantic coast; and Bordeaux, located in southwestern France along the Garonne River. The French landscape, for the most part, is composed of relatively low-lying plains, plateaus, and older mountain blocks, or massifs. This pattern clearly predominates over that of the younger, high ranges, such as the Alps and the Pyrenees. The diversity of the land is typical of continental Europe. The river systems of France are determined by a major divide in the far eastern part of the country, running from the southern end of the Vosges down the eastern and southeastern edge of the Massif central to the Noir Mountains, the southwestern promontory of the Massif. This divide is broken by occasional cols, depressions, and lowland corridors, notably the Langres Plateau, across the Jurassic outer rim of the Paris Basin. Along the divide originate most of the rivers of the larger, western part of the country, including the Seine and the Loire. Other major rivers include the Garonne, originating in the Pyrenees, and the Rhone and the Rhine, originating in the Alps. Thank you for staying with us for too long. See you next time with some interesting travel story.